Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So with that being said, let's just dive in and let's start off with the overall price chart. So I am recording this earlier on in the day, so by the time that this does go live, price action will already have changed, but ultimately speaking, we need to flip the 8-cent zone. It's right around 0.078. We need to flip that in order for us to have the big breakout to 10 cents plus. But once we do break out of the 10 to 11 cent zone, 15 to 20 cents will happen pretty quickly. I've been addressing the price action on Hbar for a little bit of time now. Specifically, I've been talking about it in the Discord, but also on the Patreon. I talked to you guys a little bit about the price action on Hbar. Around roughly 5.5 cents or so on the Patreon, really kind of addressing the 15 to 20 cent zone and why I'm really kind of interested in it. We do have a little bit of ways to go, but by the time that this video does go live, we should have already have seen a big breakout or possibly a break back down. For those out there that are watching, and maybe you guys are waiting to see where the breakdown is. Ultimately, we need to see, if we did have a breakout like the breakdown, we would probably see about roughly 5.5 cents being retested. This is significant support. But like I said, we need to have a flip of roughly the 8-cent zone. If we go to the all-time chart here, you could see exactly why I want to see the 8-cent zone being flipped. It's right around like roughly 8 to 8 cents. We need to flip that. And I'm looking at it as a way that we seen back in February of 2021 price action on Hbar, where we did ride all the way back up to about 15 cents, slight pullback down to about roughly 12 cents, and then we start to have a much larger expansion on the price action. I do believe that Hbar is one of the most bullish altcoins in the space right now, especially with all the recent developments, which I will address here in a second. But for the most part, trading volume is up significantly, up about roughly 100 and almost 40% at the time that I'm recording this. Price action looks pretty good. We still have a few levels to really kind of flip, but for the most part, I love the overall price action that has been brewing on Hbar for a while. I've been addressing and really kind of warning you guys that a big move was coming for Hbar, and hopefully this is the start of that. On the 7-day span, we are up about 23, almost 24%. On the 1-month span, we are up about roughly 40%. And on the 1-year span, we are actually still down about 7%, which is why I say like this is most likely a much larger expansion to the top. We still need to flip a few levels, and the last one is really kind of just flipping the high that we've seen from February. That's why I'm waiting to see if the 10 to 11 cent zone is going to be a major stopping point for us, or a possible higher break to 15 to 20 cents. Now, with that in mind, let's go and look at a few of the recent developments in the month of August. So over on my media company, I did tweet out saying, what an incredible month for the Hedera ecosystem. Drop CC plus FedNow integration, Hyundai integration, Galaxy app launch, Fresh Supply Co. AU plus Hedera integration. All of this happened in half a month. The ecosystem of Hbar is expanding rapidly. We look forward to what's next. And, this is not to even mention the network itself, right? Transactions have been skyrocketing. We've started to see a lot more active accounts on the network. We've also seen a lot more development happening on the network as well, which means new use cases will most likely be built and new apps will probably be launching. But this is in half a month. So, this is huge. And also going back to July, July was a major month as well for Hedera. And I do think that this is only going to continue to grow. And the impact from Hedera's side is going to only continue to become much larger. And I'm very excited for that. Now, also, shout out to King Solomon over on Twitter. Great share by Danny. Mickey B Fresh also caught this and mentioned it in a Genfinity, space back in July. And here we have, of course, XRP and Hbar. This is very interesting. So enabling that real estate once tokenized to be able to take a loan against it. We're partnering with Fubon Bank, which is a large bank with a big subsidiary in Hong Kong, and we're working also with Toko Network. Now, this is from James Wallace, who's the VP CBDCs at Ripple. I think that this is very interesting that we are seeing Ripple working with Toko, which is utilizing Hedera's network. This is pretty big. And we do see down here, in case you missed it, Toko making moves in Hong Kong. The collaboration between PwC China and Toko comes at a time when tokenization is growing in importance and will form a key part of the Hong Kong government strategy of developing Hong Kong as a virtual assets hub. And we also do see Danny Ide responding back to King Solomon, and he's saying, found it, King. 6th July, to be precise, starts at 1 2020. And a link to the Lipus advisors or Lepis. I don't know if this is Lipus or Lepus advisors paper you mentioned further down the discussion. And here you guys have, this is from Hedera's website. This is under their files, CBDC technology solutions and infrastructure providers. Check this out. So we have Ripple mentioned on here twice. It's under solutions providers and then also under infrastructure. And we do see Hedera is under infrastructure. Solutions providers provides a full stack CBDC solutions covering the whole value chain. We see MTech there. MTech, obviously a partner of Hedera's. And then also infrastructures acts as a network that can be used for the core CBDC ledger, can be DLT or non-DLT based. And we do see Hedera there. So it seems as though Ripple and Hedera are going to work pretty closely together around a few things. It's very exciting. We also see Stellar there. We see Algorand as well. Some pretty big names. And I think that this is great to see. And I think that we kind of confirmed this a little bit. There was a report recently, I want to say it was probably a month back that we went over, where it was actually Prosper US with Ripple and Hedera. And it was actually talking about CBDCs. And I was like, they're not really competing, because a lot of people will look at this and they'll say, oh, does this mean that, Ripple and Hedera are competing? No, they're not, right? Like, this is a massive collaboration. Collaboration will be crucial as well. I mean, we're talking about a fundamental change in the entire scenery around, financial use cases, major asset classes like real estate that are a 300 trillion plus market globally. I mean, this is a huge initiative and it demands collaboration between significant players like Ripple and even Hedera. So this is very exciting to me. Are they partnered together? Are they working together? We have no idea, but in my opinion, they most likely are, especially if we are seeing them both utilizing Toko, which for those out there that don't know about Toko, this is an institutional grade tokenization platform that navigates organizations through the complicated process with advisory and technology solutions to solve capital market inefficiencies. They build proprietary products and services that meet the needs of financial market players, including regulatory requirements and know your customer processes, extensive support capabilities, and compliance with international regulatory frameworks. Yes, you also have to remember that Toko is a DLA Piper initiative. So that is one of the global law firms out there. And this is sort of like a branch off from them. And I think that this is great to see. I think that Toko is one of the more bullish use cases on Hedera, because I've talked about this one many times in the past, especially around tokenization initiatives. Real estate is a $300 trillion plus market. But also there's some other great areas of interest that they are focused on as well. Debt and project financing. We know that the global debt market is roughly $300 trillion as well. IP, rights and entitlements. We know that the world of intellectual property is being tokenized. We know this through Casper, art and media, which is pretty self-explanatory, and then funds as well. So it seems as like the tokenization world of things is moving pretty quickly. And I do think that Toko is going to be a leader around this. They already have their foot in the door because of their substantial name in terms of DLA Piper. And I'm very excited to see where this really kind of takes us. We know that Toko is they're becoming a giant, if you will, around the space. And I think that it's very exciting. And I also have the video over here. It's about 2 minutes long. This is from Toko themselves talking about the introduction to Toko, the product. This is 4 months ago. I'm pretty sure I included this on a video recently as well. But let's run the clip and just kind of show you guys the power behind Toko.
Tokenization is the answer to the question of how to access and discover new markets. You can turn your illiquid assets into investable opportunities, opening up new capital markets by fractionalizing ownership, making it easier for smaller entrants to play. But you don't want to end up another headline, a victim of this complex, unregulated, and potentially risky process. So, 2 options: avoid tokenization or team up with experts. Toko is the digital asset creation engine, your go-to-market partner. Fast, safe, and easy. Toko is an integrated legal and technology platform that no one else offers, backed by a global law firm with deep understanding of local, multi-jurisdictional, and global regulations. So you get solid legal counsel to keep you compliant, and the technology platform to deal with the entire end-to-end tokenization process. Toko leaves nothing up to chance. Issue digital tokens with built-in smart contract creation and the functionality investors need. from asset servicing to capital distribution and voting, all the way to distribution, investor discovery, and trading. Toko works similar to traditional markets, but using tokenization makes it faster, cheaper, and easier. Plus, has upsides such as fewer middlemen, shorter settlement times, and as a result, lower fees. You also benefit from a vetted ecosystem of partners. Partners who fill in the gaps, helping you get to market safer and faster than you thought possible. Covering the entire tokenization journey, so you're never left figuring things out alone. Make questions like, are we compliant? What's the right thing to do? Easy to answer with Toko. And benefit from the compliance by design architecture, a hybrid public and private network, which keeps your sensitive securities information away from prying eyes. Toko deals with the complexity of tokenization, so you don't have to. Talk to the Toko team today.
So yeah, I do think that Toko really is going to become a leader around the tokenization space. We know that this is hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars. I do think that, as we look at both of these players, Hedera and Ripple, they have a lot to offer each other. I think that it is going to be a major collaboration. I've said it many times as well. Like, if you actually look at the future around this space, collaboration is going to be a crucial thing. We say this even with Zinfin and XDC around trade finance. Like, a lot of people look at collaboration as like a big problem, but it was never going to be all of the money going through one major name. Even recently with the stablecoins, right? Like, here's the stablecoins, the future of international money transfer. So this happened on August 8th, but this is really kind of just talking about the development that happened in July, and it was talking about this is with the South Korean won and the new Taiwan dollar, as well as the Thai baht. And this is all through the pilot project with Shinhan Bank, Standard Bank, and even Swirls Labs. And they all utilize Hedera, and this is around real-time foreign exchange rates. And also settlement of them. And this is leveraging the utility of stablecoins to achieve that. And I think that this is a crucial one to mention because another individual, Minus Wells actually, posted this over on Twitter, and he quoted this proposed architecture, this POC, and this of course with Shinhan Bank, with SCB Tech, and then also the financial company Taiwan. And we have this front end and back end technology, and the back end technology is Hedera, which I've always said is the gateway to mass adoption. And we do see Hedera successfully tested stablecoin bank-to-bank transactions on its EVM compatible network between major banks. The test showed that Hedera can replace the current Nostro Vostro system with liquidity pools, reducing transaction costs and time. Hedera is scalable enough to handle the demand of replacing their current banking system. And for those out there that are not aware of Ripple and XRP, maybe you haven't done enough research, this was the initial viewpoint of Ripple and XRP, to replace Nostro Vostro accounts, because those are $27 trillion. And these accounts are just sitting dormant, right? Like, there's nothing actually happening around these accounts. A lot of people continue to say that there's not dormant funds in these banking accounts. But when we actually look back at things and we actually, confirm this, there is $27 trillion in those Nostro Vostro accounts. And today there's probably a lot more. We know this because of Brad Garlinghouse. He's mentioned it many times in the past as well on what Ripple is trying to do with Nostro Vostro accounts. I do think that crypto and blockchain technology and DLT, I think all of this combined is most likely going to replace those Nostro Vostro accounts. The Nostro Vostro system itself and the entire traditional system of banking and finance is outdated technology. It's outdated infrastructure. I do think that we are about to see the new infrastructure rise, where it is crypto, blockchain, DLT, and I think that that's where we really kind of look at XRP. We look at Hedera. We look at all of these utility tokens that have significant efficiencies tied to them, and that's why, like, when we really kind of look at the current scene in the space and we look at the current prices in the space, it gets me very excited because we're talking about billions of dollars in market cap for some of these tokens. Like, the world of $1 trillion assets is going to happen, and I've talked about how we get there. It's going to take some time, but I'm very excited for that future, because that is a future where I know we are headed towards, especially with the amount of adoption and the amount of efficiencies that are in this space around some incredible projects, like, for an example, Hedera. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are on this. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.